Greetings! This is another Armored Warfare video, and the first one I'm not recording in my native language. Anyways, before I start, it's really warm here. I could turn on my desk fan, but it would generate a lot of noise, and my videos are already shit, and I don't want to decrease the quality even more. So yes, suffering is fun. Talking about suffering, this is a Centurion AVRE, today's topic. Or as I'd like to call it, the Centurion AVRE-ge at best. So this thing has some nice qualities and some atrocious ones. Let's start off with the nice ones because that list is shorter. So, it has hash. This is also a downside, but we'll get to that. It deals a shit ton of damage and a shit ton of module damage. So yes, it has the alpha damage. Also the largest gun in this game. Another good thing about this vehicle would be the armor profile, although the armor profile does not look very great against some enemies that it can face. For an example, a tier 10 Leopard can make a Swiss cheese out of this thing, or even a worse enemy it can face, the T-15. So yes, this thing does have armor, the ERA does work, but it's not really that awesome. Okay, now let's get to the fun stuff, or the bad things. So, as I said, it only has hash, which is a bad thing because, well, it can penetrate up to 550 millimeters, but, you know, spaced armor exists, although it only affects hash at angles, so from side on it's not a big problem, but cage armor exists. ERA exists, tracks just absorb this type of shells, so it's really situational. Also, the aiming time, well, it's, let's just say it takes up a majority of your game just aiming. Besides the obvious, it goes around at around what, 35 kilometers per hour downhills. So you spend the majority of your game driving around, and when you are in the fight you spend the majority of time either aiming or reloading. So yes, this thing is quite a pain in the ass. So yes. Also, I forgot to mention the accuracy. It's pinpoint accurate, you wouldn't believe this. It can hit an asteroid from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Yes, you might have been aiming for that, I don't know, Abrams that's 50 meters away, but you did hit that asteroid who knows how many kilometers away. So yes, that's the accuracy. The gun depression over the front is really nice, but if you turn your turret, that gun would bump into those headlamps. So the gun elevation just happens over there, over in that area of the tank. So yes, it's really quite annoying. You can't really angle your tank like this because that's a headlamp on both sides. Those are just obstacles that prevent you from actually doing your MBT job. So, as I said, this thing has a hash, and what hash can do is that. Fireworks. Oh, and another thing, when you do anything besides staying in one place, not even moving your cursor, your aiming circle explodes, like how M4X can explode. Also, that 550 millimeters of penetration doesn't really help me in those situations where I cannot really see the sides of my enemies. So yeah, that's quite annoying to deal with, but there are quite a lot of paper enemies that are able to turn their hulls to be immune to your shells, like what happened over there with the Enders. So yes, this vehicle does everything it can to prevent itself from working. And actually, the reload time is not really an issue. Like, okay, it might take 13 seconds almost, but you aim for like 7, so it's not that big of a deal. That thing over there is my mortal enemy, my arch nemesis. That thing eats these hash shells. Like, not taking damage, they just disappear. Hash shells just cease to exist whenever they hit that VT5. So yes, this thing is quite atrocious and I hate it with all my heart, except when that happens. I cause a fire or an ammo wreck. That is the only redeeming quality about this thing. And on this map the mobility isn't that big of an issue, like there are practically no hills. The map is also quite small, so it's not a big deal. But on larger maps, especially the mountainous ones, you would not believe what I say, you cannot reverse up hills. Ouch. And I don't mean that figuratively, you literally cannot reverse up hills. I wish I could show that, but it's not a hilly map that I'm on, so I am incapable of showing that in action. I really have to take my time, and of course I hit the tire. Why would I actually hit the actual vehicle? So this would be our first game. It was a victory and I dealt around 19k damage. That's pretty damn good. Also, keep in mind these statistics for the accuracy and the aim time are with the necessary equipments included. And just to show you how bad the situation is with this tank in terms of these soft stats, add to compare, and let's compare it to let's say the Palmaria. It also has the same equipment and it is much more accurate and has a faster aiming time. The Centurion AVRE-ge at best literally has worse accuracy and aiming time than every single artillery, even when they have a broken gun and a dead gunner. So yes, let's suffer some more. Alright, the situation is my 35 kilometers per hour top speed will really, well, decrease my efficiency to say the least. Literally every single teammate of mine is at least twice as fast as I am. Yes, even the Merkava. Oof, that had to hurt. This thing makes money. Alright, that's also a good thing about it. It makes the sweet green money. Although I also have better premium. I also have better premiums than this. Also, it has a dozer blade which increases the ramming damage, I think, if I remember correctly. Now that I said it out loud, I am not sure. What the fuck? Yeah, ghost shells sometimes happen. Lately they've been happening quite a lot. But whatever. It took me literally more than half a minute to get from the bridge to this area. And I couldn't even steal the kill. Outrageous. Like, top speed is really the major factor in my hatred towards this thing. I could deal with the poor-ish armor, I can deal with the inconveniences of aiming, I can deal with a lot of things, but when we are talking about these kinds of speeds, or rather the opposite of speed, what is the opposite of speed? Speedn't? Whatever. When we are talking about this kind of speed, I just can't tolerate it. Not when the vehicle itself is not exactly invincible. Like, if this thing was quite literally invincible from the front end and from most angles regarding the sides, I would say, okay, fine, that the top speed is deserved. But as you clearly saw, the front can be penetrated by T-15s, and those things are quite common. Did I say I hate this tank? I abso-fucking-lutely despise it. Great job, indeed. So yeah, this battle wasn't the greatest. I still managed to do around 11k damage. That's acceptable, but nothing to be proud of. So yes, this would be the Centurion, average at best. If you liked the video, hit the dislike button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. If you want to, you can unsubscribe. Bye.